there goes Artie again. Good morning, good morning. So you've all heard about my dad and how he was a special friend to me. And one of my favorite things that he would say is, I'd say, well, what's the weather supposed to be like? And he'd say, it's going to be fantastic. He goes, you can't change it, so you may as well embrace what it is. And he was like that with everything. And you've all heard the saying that life is 10% about what happens to you and 90% your attitude about what happens to you or how you react to what happens to you. And I'm trying to keep that in mind this morning. And I think it's a good thing to start the year with, that just a good reminder that attitude really is everything. It colors everything that happens, that is. So think about how your attitude is this morning and find a nice seat. Sit up nice and tall. And just start with a few things that maybe you're grateful for this morning. Bring to mind those things that you know are good. And then try this. Put a tiny curve at the ends of your mouth, curve upward at the ends of your mouth. A smile that no one can see, but you can feel. And just notice how that affects your whole physical and mental and spiritual self. Please bring hands to heart center. And we always keep in mind how important our attitude is. I think if we set an intention for what we want to get out of every experience, that helps our attitude immensely. It gives us a better opportunity to notice all the beauty and all the grace that's always around us and even within us. And please lower your hands, open your eyes. Artemis has a good attitude this morning. And let's start in child's pose. And just find a nice stretch for you. I'm going to stretch my arms out to start because I feel like I need a nice long stretch in my spine. And then come up on fingertips and just walk the fingers to your left. Stretch your hips to the right a little bit. They call this child's pose because the spine resembles how you were in the womb a little bit. Now walk your hands to the right side. But also children tend to stretch this way on their own. You watch them, they do. And if we want a good attitude, think more childlike, because kids, if they're well fed and well rested, they always have a good attitude, right? Come back to center. And then come up to all fours so you can stretch your feet straight back and sit on your heels just to get a little quad stretch, a little ankle stretch. If you want more, you can even lean back, only if that feels good. We might explore that a little bit further. And then come forward to all fours. And curl your toes under. And lift to cow. And then on the exhale, round to cat. Try and move with your breath. So inhale, stretch into cow. Exhale, round to cat. Good. And then pause. I want to stretch your wrists out a little bit more. So think of really pressing through the knuckle mounds, finger mounds, and the fingertips. And it's okay to lift the thumb up in this, and you're just going to lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, just warming up the hands. You can add a little rocking if it feels good. Good, and then pause. Go ahead and turn the fingers out as much as you can. They may face you, your thumbs will be out. And just rock forward and back a little bit. If the heel of the hand comes up, great, fine. Feel the shoulders. Good, and then I almost never do this, but I want you to rotate the hands the opposite way. So maybe the fingers will face each other. Maybe you'll get them turned a little further. And then same thing, just feel, you can rock side to side a little bit. Try not to hyperextend the elbows. Good. And then come on up and you're going to come to the tops of your hands, fingers pointed towards each other. You might have to move your knees a little closer because you may not want all your weight on your hands. And then bend the elbows and straighten a little bit. Bend and straighten. One more time, bend and straighten. Good. And then turn the hands the right way and swivel your feet to one side so you can sit down. I promised Connie I'd get her shoulders worked out. So bring your feet a little bit further than hip distance. Bring your right hand off to the side. Reach across with your left hand and find the little toe side of your foot. And then tuck your chin, draw your sternum back and step on the gas and stretch out your shoulder. And you're going to feel it. So you want to keep a long side body. You'll feel it from your armpit clear down to your waistline. Couple breaths. And then come on up and switch sides. Does that get the spot? Yeah. Tuck the chin, draw the sternum back. Keep the side of the body long. Good, and then unwind and come on back to all fours. I'll just pause there again and feel your breath. Keep the toes curled under. So just kind of start flowing with your breath just a little bit. And then start moving more into cow and cat with the breath. Maybe feeling the rounding bigger in both directions. Now with this next cow, lift your feet. And then as you round to cat, perhaps lift your knees just a little bit. Keep going like that. Lifting the feet on cow. Lifting the knees on cat. 2 more times. And this time when you get into cat, lift your knees up, send your sit bones back and up and come to downward facing dog. And just widen your feet and bring the feet back a little bit. This first downward dog. With a wide-legged down dog, maybe a little shorter stance than you're used to. Feel the knuckle mounds, finger mounds, grounded. Good, and then come forward to plank. Lower your knees and sit back to child's pose. Inhale, come on up to cow. You can lift the feet if you want to. Exhale, round and lift the knees and then slide back to down dog. Let's just do that a few more times. So inhale, plank. Exhale, lower the knees. Sit back, child's pose. Inhale, back to cow, lift the feet. Exhale, round to cat, lift the knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Lower the knees. Child's pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, tuck the toes round and lift the knees to downward facing dog. One more time. Plank. Child's pose. Cow. Tuck the knees around the cat, or tuck the toes around the cat. Lift the knees. Downward facing dog. Good. Now come forward to plank again. Lower the knees. And you're just going to lower your chest, your chin, and your knees to the floor. So your knees stay down, your butt stays up, chest, chin, and hold there for a moment. So hug the knees towards you. You can stretch the toes if you want. Knees, chest, chin. Good. Slide forward. Slide your hands back. Forehead down. And just engage. So draw rib cage back, shoulders back, and broaden. Lift the head, lift the arms, and maybe lift the feet, Shalabhasana. And hold. Try not to let the heels widen or come together. Straight back. And lower back down. Push all the way back to your heels again. Walk your hands back, sit on the heels. I'm going to take off a layer if you want to at the good opportunity. So this time you're going to widen a little bit so that perhaps you can sit between the heels if that works for you. Or you can use a blanket, or you can even use a block. And just feel that. Sometimes I have to move my calves out of the way and my cat. Good. Press all 10 toes down and maybe lean back a bit. Just stretching out the quads. Try not to scoop the tail, but feel the rib cage engaged. Maybe you're going to keep the curve. Maybe move back to your elbows. You can go as deep as you want. You can go all the way back to your head. Whatever feels good to you. Stay where it feels like a good stretch. Get those quads working. And then lifting with the heart, come back to your elbows if you're all the way down. And then maybe up to your hands. And then come forward. Also, all fours. Inhale, lift the cow, lift the heels. Exhale, round. And lift the knees. Downward facing dog. Just so we don't forget how to do that, I already come forward to plank. Lower the knees to back child's pose. Inhale, cow. Lift the feet. Exhale, round to cat. Lift the knees. Push back, downward facing dog. Bring your feet a little bit closer together and lift the right leg. And bend the knee and open up to wild dog. Try not to let the shoulders change any. Just feel a nice opening. And then wiggle your foot around a little bit. Make a circle with your right foot, warming up the ankle. Good. Square up the hips. Extend the leg again. And then step that foot through to deep lunge. Good. If you need blocks here, you're welcome to use them. I'm going to not use blocks today. Bring your right hand to your knee. Keep the rib cage drawing back. Keep the right hip crease back. And just twist open. You can bring hand to hip crease if that helps you. You can even extend the arm if you'd like. Take a few breaths. One more breath. Just feel a nice opening. And then touch down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower the knees, sit back, child's pose. Inhale, come to cow, lifting the feet. Exhale, curl the toes round and lift back to downward facing dog. Making sure your feet are in a good position to extend the left leg. Don't let the right armpit get lazy. The rib cage stays back. Bend the knee, open up to wild dog. So you can let the left hip lift. And then move your left foot around in a circle. Open up the ankle. Good. Square up the hips. Extend the leg. And step the foot through deep plunge. That's what she was doing to me. She really is getting comfortable with that. she comes right up underneath and hugs your face. Good. Left hand to the left thigh. Take your time just thinking, okay, I'm drawing the rib cage back. I'm drawing the left hip back. The right hip stays back. And then twist and maybe extend the arm. You can use that hand on the left hip crease if that helps you. Hug the feet towards each other. Breathe. Feel the big toe mound grounded. Good. Touch the hand down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower the knees. Sit back. Child's pose. Inhale, come to cow, lift the feet. Exhale, curl the toes, round to cat. And come to downward facing dog. And then walk your feet up towards your hands. Widen your feet a lot. I'm going to turn this way. And come down to Malasana, deep squat. And I'm going to encourage you, if your heels come up, to put a blanket right under the back side of the heels so that you can feel the heels grounded down. So we're going to do a little twist here. So bring your right arm against your right thigh and left hand to your left knee. And then just think, okay, I'm going to open up that thigh so the kneecap and the toes point the same direction. You're just going to open that hip. Everything else stays the same. And you can just pump it a few times if that feels good, keeping the foot really engaged. I like to just open my hip that way. Good. And then release that side and switch sides. So left arm kind of pushes back, right hand to the knee. Make sure kneecap and toes point same direction. Twist. And then maybe pump that knee a few times. Open up that hip. Good, and then come on back to regular Malasana. Whew. Bring your feet a little closer and lift to a forward fold. And I'm going to keep my knees bent in this forward fold. And then bring my hands to the outside of the shins. So outside and just push in. And then feel how the outer thighs automatically just kind of push out. So it's called shins in, thighs out. And then just keep that and re-straighten the legs. Good. Bend the knees a little bit again. Bring your hands on your thighs and bring yourself upright to Utkatasana. You can keep the hands there. I want you to feel like the weight's in the heels as much as in the balls of the feet. So you're sitting back. Really feel that shins in, thighs out, but really feel your rib cage intact. And then bring hands to heart center. And maybe you can keep that feeling, extend the arms. Kind of like you're hugging a block between your hands. Good. Bring the hands back to the thighs. Straighten the legs and move back into Uttanasana. If you want to, you can do that shins in, thighs out again. Sometimes I like to even wrap my shins with my arms. If you're not open enough in your hamstrings, this won't work, but it feels really good. You hug in, squeeze, and broaden. Good, and then coming out to a pranam position with your breath. So inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. One more time. And step your right foot back to a deep lunge. Step over a kitty cat. And ground your back foot down. And then bring your left hand to the inside and just kind of walk around a little bit. If you need blocks under your hands, I'm not having you do down dog arms for this variation. Just come on fingertips and think hug feet. Sits bones stay back. I keep a baby bend in my right knee just because it feels better to me. And then maybe I can fold a little deeper. Hug the feet. Feel all parts of that right foot and the left foot connected to the floor. Back leg really grounds you. Sits bones back. Rib cage back. Good, and then unwind back to deep lunge. So turn the back heel up and step back to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower your knees. Sit back, child's pose. Slide into cow pose. Lift your feet. Exhale, toes down, curled under, round to cat. And push back to downward facing dog. Extend the right leg and step it through to deep lunge. Ground the back foot down, bring the hands to the inside. And just get a good, so it's kind of like you're facing the upper left corner of your mat. So hug the feet towards each other and fold. I call this down dog lunge, but it's not really down dog arms in this variation. So hug the feet towards each other. Feel all parts of the feet grounded. Nice stretch. One more breath. And unwind to deep lunge, turning the back heel up and step back, down dog. And again, plank, child's pose, cow, cat, downward facing dog. Extend, bring your feet a little closer, put a little baby bend in your knees, extend your right leg. And keeping the hips square and your core really engaged, start to walk your hands back towards your left foot, keeping your right foot extended. And I want you to keep your hips square, so just kind of pause there. This is a pose called standing splits, but you might not really have all the way to splits because I want you to keep the core engaged. Good. And then walk your hands back to that one-legged down dog. Good. Pause there. Stay really strong. And then you're going to bend your right knee towards your right upper arm. So it feels like plank. And then extend it back. And do that 2 more times. So right knee towards right upper arm. Extend it back. And last time. Extend it back. And bring the foot down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, lower the knees, sit back, child's pose. Inhale, slide to cow, lift the feet. Exhale, tuck the toes, round to cat, and come to downward facing dog. Okay, we have another side to do. So extend the left leg. Just want you to really focus on staying engaged and long in your spine and your core. Walk your hands back one at a time so you can ground the right foot down and come to that standing split. Super engaged. Come to pranam position. It'll feel a little bit like warrior 3. Walk your hands back out. Try to miss the cat. Come to extended down dog. And then 3 times elbow to the outside of the left arm. Or knee to elbow, I should say. I'm having trouble talking this morning. 1 more time. Stretch it back, extended down dog. Bring the foot down. Come forward to plank. Lower the knees, sit back to child's pose, and just rest there for a moment. You can bring your hands under your forehead. And then extend the arms. And on your next inhale, slide into cow, lift the heels. Exhale, round to cat, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Extend the right leg and step it through to a deep lunge. Ground the back foot down. Bring right elbow to knee, left hand to hip. And just take a moment to look at your alignment and feel. And then slowly open up into parsvakonasana. If you're feeling good and you want to stretch deeper, you can bring the hand to the outside of the foot or to the inside. Lengthen, rib cage back, shoulders broadening, sits bones back, hugging the feet. Back foot really stays grounded. Good. And then slide back to deep lunge. Turn the back heel up. Step back to down dog. Come forward to plank. Lower the knees. Come to child's pose. Inhale to cow, lift the feet. Exhale, curl the toes, round, lift the knees back to downward facing dog. Extend the left leg and step it through to deep lunge. If it gets caught halfway, just help it up there. Ground the back foot down. Start with the left elbow to the left knee. You can really refine your alignment. And then if you want to go deeper, you can always extend down. I like to use my arm and my leg together to feel stable. And then open up if you feel good. Feel the back foot really grounding you. Front foot's grounded. Draw the low belly up. Sits bones stay back. Rib cage is back. Broaden the shoulders. Breathe. Parsvakonasana. Good. Touch down. Come back to deep lunge. This time, step forward. Uttanasana. And just take a moment. You can bring the hands to the outside. I think shins in, eyes wide. And bend the knees. And then re-straighten them wherever you're feeling today. And then please step back, downward facing dog. And lower your knees and look up here for a moment. So we're gonna do what we did last time, only instead of walking our hands back, we're gonna walk our feet back. So I'm gonna lift leg to extended down dog. And then I'm gonna bend my right knee, step a little closer. Bounce, bounce, feeling in that standing splits. And then we'll hop back. Yeah, okay, ready to try? Artie, honey doesn't need your help, okay. So let's, for fun, come to down dog, and we'll just start by coming forward to plank, lowering the knees, sit back, child's pose. Inhale, slide into cow, lift the heels. Exhale, tuck the toes around into cat, lift the knees. Good, extend your right leg. Now remember, you have to stay just as strong in the core. It's easy, it's better, you know, if you want to keep a little baby bend in your left knee, you're gonna bounce with that knee. So bend the left knee and just take a little step forward. And just pause, think, so everything's the same, and then go again, and go again, until you feel like you're there. You're standing on the left foot now. The right foot extended. Good, and then bending the left knee, hop it back. One foot width at a time until you're in that extended down dog. Good, and then come forward to plank, right knee to right elbow. Extend it back 2 more times. And bring the foot down. Downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower the knees, step back. Child's pose and stay for a moment. Take all that in. One more breath. And then on your inhale, slide into cow, lift the heels. Exhale, curl the toes, round to cat, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Extend the left leg. Bend the right knee a little bit. And then you're just bouncing on that knee. So bend the knee a lot, hop a little bit, hop, hop, until you can get that foot flat and then come into standing split. Stay really strong in your core as you bend the right knee and hop it back. Extended down dog. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, stretch it back. 2 more times. Knee to elbow. And as soon as you get it, stretch it back there. Bring the foot down. And go ahead and lower to child's pose again. Take a break. Hands under head. And you just want to open your hips a little more. So slide into cow. Lift the heels. Curl the toes, round a cat. And stretch back to downward facing dog. Good. Extend the right leg and sweep it through for pigeon prep. So the right knee comes to the back or the outside of your right wrist. And the shins parallel. You can always walk your left knee back, keeping the hips square, hugging the knees towards each other. Just look and see if your left leg's straight back. Up. And then maybe come down to your elbows, hugging knees towards each other. Right hip crease moves back and wide. I like to keep my right foot super active, so I keep, feels like my little toe sides curled under. My ankle isn't even against the ground. I'm working it so hard. Right hip crease, back and wide. Thanks for your help and love, Cardi. Yes. We haven't let her come down for a while. Obviously, she's a little starved for affection today. So what's your attitude about this pose? Check that. And then come on up, plant your hands, curl your left toes under, lift the left knee and step back. Down dog. Downward facing. Extend the left leg to sweep it through. So left knee comes, I like it to the outside of my left wrist, but you do what feels best for you. Stretch the right leg straight back. You can keep the toes curled under, or if you're staying really active, you can stretch the toes, hug the knees towards each other, maybe lower down. I really have to focus on keeping my low belly. This is my side that my back gets. So I have to think low belly up, rib cage back, long spine, hug the knees, left hip crease back and wide. You can see my foot. I'm on the little toe side. My ankle's not even touching the ground. It's like I'm pressing my whole left shin into the mat, trying to punch it through the floor and hugging the knees towards each other. Couple more breaths. And come up on your hands, curl your right toes under, lift the knee, and step back. down dog. And then come forward to plank with the inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, sit back, child's pose. Inhale, slide to cow, lift the feet. Exhale, turn the toes under, round the back, and come downward facing dog. Extend the right leg and step it through, deep lunge. Ground the back foot down. Bring the right hand to the inside. Straighten the right leg. And I'm going to encourage you to reach around and see if you can grab your left hip with your right hand and then walk your left fingertips forward. So this kind of funky triangle pose. Maybe even you can reach your ankle and open to the inside, hugging the feet, staying really stable. Good, unwind. Ooh, turn the back heel up, bend the right knee and step back, down dog. Extend the left leg and step it through. Ground the back foot down, walk the left hand to the inside, straighten the left leg. And then see, maybe you can just want to keep your belly turned inward, but reach for your right hip with your left hand. And then encourage your right hand to walk forward and maybe even find the ankle. We call this funky triangle. Turn your chest more inward and upward. Beautiful. One more breath. And then please unwind, bend the left knee, turn the right heel up, and step back, down dog. Inhale to plank. This time lower all the way to the mat. Come up to cobra. And stay for a few breaths. If you're feeling it and you want up dog, you can do that too. And lower down. And push to all fours. Swivel your feet to one side. And come to a seated position. I'm going to sit on a blanket, I think. Why not? Just want to make sure my hips are a little higher. And then you might want to turn sideways on your mat so that you can get your heels on the mat. So see how my blanket's almost off. And then when I widen my legs, I can do it. And then I think inner spiral, both legs, so I can really feel grounded. Draw the low belly up. Draw the rib cage back. And maybe fold. I'm hugging the heels towards each other. Look how active my feet are. They're really active. My core is very active. And then I just hold to where it feels comfortable. It's okay to round your back a little bit. It's just you don't want to put, if you're having to round to get deeper, don't do it. Just think, I just want a nice, comfortable position for me. Good. And then come on back up. Janu Shirshasana. So bend your right knee. Same position, really. And if your knees don't do this, then feel free to keep that leg extended, but face your outstretched leg. Low belly up, rib cage back, sits bones grounded, and then maybe reach to the outer knee, the outer shin, or the outer foot for Janu Shirshasana. And come on up and switch. Might have to regroup inner spiral. I don't know. I always have to. Seems like I lose it. And then once I get really grounded and long, then I face the leg. And then maybe I try and get my belly to face, but my hips stay the same. I'm just lengthening out. It's not about how deep you go. It's about how it feels. Try and keep both sit bones grounded and lengthen out. One more breath. And come on back up. Oh, that felt good. I could stay there all day. I used to hate that pose. Now I love it. Come on to your back, please. One of my favorites now. Satu Bandha position. So feet underneath. Activate the backs of your legs. Just notice your core. So you have that curve. Your sit bones are grounded. Your rib cage is back and grounded, but yet you slide your shoulder blades underneath a little bit and then just press into your feet. Lift your hips. If you want to, you can interlace your hands. Just do what feels good to you today. Couple breaths. Lights off. And lower back down. Feel. And if you want to, you can go to Urdhva Dhanurasana or just do Satu Bandha again. If you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, I'd set up just the same way. So feel the legs, feel the feet grounded, feel the nice engaged spine, lift the hips, and then if you're going to Urdhva, then you place your hands. Maybe you lift to the top of your head, readjust the hands, and then lift. And everybody, come on back down. Hug your knees in. Roll side to side. Bring the feet down. Bring them wide. Arms in T or cactus. And just work through some windshield wipers. Just pause where you feel like you need it. One more each side to balance it out. And then bring the feet, the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees open. Bring your hands on your belly and just feel the breath move in and out. And then closing your knees. Stretch out for Shavasana. You want to cover up as you drift off. About your attitude, about your physical body. If you can really appreciate what it just did for you. All your parts worked hard. And now appreciate them by giving each body part a complete rest. Just scan from head to toe and see where you're holding tension. Try and let it go. Even your jaw, relax it. Relax your hips. So many muscles and ligaments that run through that area. You can let them all relax and lengthen. Slide off the bones. Relax the bottoms of my feet. And now the saying goes, it's Charles Swindoll, I believe, that said this, that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. I believe it's more like life is 1% what happens to you and 99% how you react to it. And here's a few ideas from Louise Hay that can help you have the right attitude no matter what. She says, these are some of the beliefs that I have created for myself over a period of time that really work for me. I am always safe. Everything I need to know is revealed to me. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect time, space, and sequence. Life is a joy and filled with love. I prosper wherever I turn. I am willing to change and to grow. All is well in my world. She says, life is very simple. Each one of us creates our experiences by our thinking, our feeling patterns. What we believe about ourselves and about life becomes true for us. Again, feel all of your body. Notice that you're able to move again. Small ways. Just take your time. When you feel more ready to move, draw your knees in towards your chest. Roll to the right. Just keep your legs heavy as you push on up. And find a nice regal seat. Might I suggest that purring kitties also help your attitude? And please bring hands to heart center. So grateful for each of you. Namaste. Have a fabulous Tuesday. Enjoy the sunshine. Sunshine helps my attitude too. Not sure why I'm losing my voice, but thank you guys.
Thank you, Lisa.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
Lisa. You
Thank
too.
you.